Now, of course, we know he has a strong sense of smell because he's a fox. He's like a literal fox. So he's like basically cosplaying as Naruto right now, which is kind of like interesting how it's intertwined. This was one of the most iconic parts of reading the manga, is when he turns into the fox literally, and you see he's like this little fox.
Christ's love isn't like everybody else's love. It's not like the world's love. The world's love loves you when you do things right or when you do things with them. But as soon as you make a mistake, they take that love away. But what I've experienced with the love of Christ is that it loves first. It loves through wrongdoing. It loves when you shouldn't be loved anymore. It's unconditional. And that's the love that I believe is going to change the world and has changed me.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Makaya. I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black.
Sasha here. Excuse me? Supermodels do not fly business class. Now, I'm not gonna demand a private jet, but I think Jag could at least spring for first class.
And I bring you all another video. If you all do not know, you should know. But if you don't, that's okay. But Naruto is my favorite anime that I've watched. Heavy on the favorite anime that I've watched. Okay, and I stand by that 100%. I believe it is the greatest anime. I'm not saying there's not other great ones out there, because I love a lot of them. However, it's something special for me when it comes to Naruto, watching it when I was 6-7 years old, and it's something about how it evokes your emotions, and the character development just hits differently for me compared to any other show. And I'll actually probably like do a deeper dive on the impact it's had on me. But the reason why I'm doing this video is because actually today was my first time reading the pilot for Naruto, and I've never like read it before, and I'm like, this was completely different, and there was certain similarity than of course what ended up airing, but this was something different. It was completely different. So I kind of wanted to dive into that and get you all's thoughts on the pilot. And if you have not read it, heard of this original plot, then I'll link the manga link within the description, because it's a quick read. I read it in like less than 10 minutes, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, but it was actually really good. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see more of me. And if you're new, hey, and if you're a returner, I really truly appreciate the love. And if you get the chance, please check out my social media platform. My Instagram is at more of Makaya. I'll leave you one and more. And my TikTok is at the life of Kaya. And if you are a person who loves an array of different things that truly do not correlate and you're very diverse, then this is the channel for you. So hit that subscribe button. So without further ado, we're gonna get into the video. Yes, so I'll be reading the plot directly from this Naruto fan site. I thought this was written pretty well, so I was like, I'm going to just read directly from that. So I'll be sure to link that down in my description box. Yeah, so as we know, in 1997, Masashi Kishimoto would create the first published incarnation of the Naruto series, debuting in the Akamaru Jump. The Naruto one-shot would be Kishimoto's first incarnation of the Naruto universe. Through the plot of the one-shot bears little resemblance to the later shonen manga, many of the same characters and ninja themes would be displayed for the first time. Before I even dive into this, I thought it was interesting how it evolved and how it became the greatest show that it is now, and how they kind of started and where they've gone. I always love to know like where something starts at, and I guess for Naruto, this being my favorite anime, I thought that this instantly kind of started off the way it originally was in the plot. And just to give a little backstory, I didn't grow up reading manga for the longest. My uncle always raved about reading manga. He's heavy on reading manga even before he watched the show. I'm not necessarily that kind of person. The only time I did it is for the whole war, when they kept having everyone in like this trance or dreaming, and they had it with so many fillers. So I had no choice but to read the manga so that I can know how it ends. So that's like the only reason why I read the manga, and that's what led me actually to reading other manga rather than just watching the show. A little fun fact right there. So I really didn't grow up reading manga. I mainly watched the shows, and that was pretty much it. I would wait until more episodes were released, and that's how I like maneuvered. I had my sites, you know, those sites we used to have back in the day, to watch a lot of these shows. It's also interesting to find out that it started from this point and how it evolved, because it was a completely different series. It had certain elements that were the same, and I'll touch on those, but however, it was pretty different. Within the pilot, Naruto is a fox that goes around about life in the form of a young boy because his father attacked the ninja village and caused a lot of death and destruction. The villagers are distrusting of him. I'm gonna just hold it. To that end, he grew very resentful of the angry looks. The village chief was the sole survivor of the 9 powerful shinobi who were gathered to fight the elder fox. The chief took pity on Naruto and allowed him to be raised in the village. While he was growing up, Naruto would learn several of the ninja jutsu. The chief fears Naruto will become like his father, so he hopes a friendship will put him on a good path. So that off rip is like completely different because he's actually a fox that's disguising himself as a human because he's learned the transformation jutsu, which is of course Naruto's infamous jutsu he stamped that regardless. Like, I don't want to go off track of what I'm talking about, but I just thought it was so beautiful how the transformation jutsu was a jutsu that he struggled with for the longest, and it ended up being his greatest jutsu. He wields it the best more than any other character on that show. So I just find that to be beautiful. Just because you may not be getting something, things may be hard, or you may suck at something, or you're not succeeding at something, does not mean you won't succeed on just give up. But anyways, Naruto just strikes the heart in a different way. So we see his father is essentially the 9-tailed fox, the one that's causing a lot of destruction and the one that was actually villain, quote unquote. And of course he had a son who is Naruto, who's a fox, and like literally a fox, and the chief takes him in because he didn't want to harm the fox's son. So isn't that crazy? Like, I found that out literally today. I found that out. I have no shame in saying that I found it out today. I find that to be actually interesting. So I know I'm not the only person because I don't really go out my way to look at pilots for things. Like, I'm a Boondocks fan, and even when I went to DreamCon for the first time, I was able to watch the pilot, and I was like, wait, I never knew that it was supposed to be on this and that and that and this. Like, I never knew that kind of stuff. So it was interesting to kind of get the deeper backstory. And of course, I went back and I read like the newspaper scripts that they had and so on and so forth. But this isn't about Boondocks, but I'm using an example of a lot of times we don't realize like the trajectory of how we got somewhere. We kind of just accept where we got and just keep watching it and, you know, stick with it. But I thought it was interesting how I got the opportunity to kind of like go back and read the pilot, and I'm like, wait, that was so interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, it would kind of be interesting to see how this would come to life in the animated format and how this show would have been. I know it would have been a completely different show because it seems like Naruto was a lot more mischievous in this section with the pilot. Not to say he wasn't mischievous before, but he was doing that more so for attention.
I just wanted to clarify what I stated. I think either way, whether he was an actual fox disguised as a human or whether he had the 9-tailed fox in him, which we ended up seeing come to life, they would have been scared of him regardless. And it was still like that fear factor or him being alone as well. So it's kind of like the same concept a little bit, but different avenues to getting there.
It's not clear if people knew he was the fox son in this from what I read. I don't think it was very clear. But yeah, I don't think it was very clear. But anyways, so after traveling to the city, Naruto stops at a ramen stand to grab a bite to eat. While there, a drunken patron enters the stand. He is Karuta. If I mispronounce any of these names, I apologize in advance. A washed up artist who has been repairing a valuable painting named Symbol. After he nearly passes out, another man enters the stand. This is Sergeant Matsushima, who is in charge of protecting the painting once Kurado finishes his repairs. After we gonna get how to pronounce this. We gonna get how to pronounce this because we ain't gonna butcher it like that. Y'all, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'll sometimes look up how to pronounce things, especially when it's other names, so that I could try to pronounce it the best, because I don't like when people butcher names or incorrectly or keep incorrectly saying it. It's like frustrating. So I'm like, I apologize in advance because my name is Makaya, and I know sometimes that can be difficult for people to say, so I like to be very careful about that kind of stuff.
Matsushima.
Oh. After Matsushima leaves, the owner of the stand gives Naruto a free bowl of ramen in exchange for Naruto taking the artist home. Naruto managed to bring the passed out artist to his studio. Now, another similarity, as we know, within the pilot and of course the regular series and what ends up being the trajectory of Naruto, he loves ramen. That's a similarity within both of them. At the studio, Naruto meets Karuta's assistant, Takunu Takashi. Takashi shows Naruto's symbol and tells him it was painted by nationally known artist Saburo. Naruto notes the painting smells bad, and Takashi tells him it was made with the special paint. As Naruto gets near the painting, an uninformed police officer enters and tells Naruto to back away and be careful. He is in charge of helping protect the expensive painting. He then excuses himself, stating he needs to use the restroom. Soon Karuta awakes and he asks Naruto to join him in a drink. Though Naruto states he is not old enough to drink, he caves in shortly and begins to drink with the artist. While inebriated, Naruto decides to show the men his transformation technique. Naruto changes into an attractive young woman who only wears a bathing suit. And this is similar to his sexy jutsu that he has. And this is similar to Naruto's sexy technique that we all know that is infamous. If you know, you know. It's a very infamous one. So that was like the similarity here, that he did that within this. And Naruto is not skilled enough though, so one of his tails sticks out from his tailbone while he is transforming into this woman. However, I think another reason why is because he was intoxicated as well. And as you know, when you're intoxicated, that alters how you do things. As the two artists freak out at the strange occurrence before them, we see a man in the outside shadows begin to put a silencer on a gun. Karuta asks Naruto what he is doing in the city, and Naruto tells him he was sent to find a friend. Karuta says that is foolish and that you can only trust yourself. Then he rose to head to bed. Takashi then tells Naruto of the sad events of Karuta's past. His best friend, Saburo, stabbed Karuta after Karuta took over his job as the chairman of the Culture Advancement Committee. Saddened by his actions, Saburo returned to his apartment and painted symbol before taking his own life. Takashi then states the painting depicts two tree limbs reaching out to intertwine, symbolically representing two hands shaking, forming a new trust. In the intertwined branches is a bird's nest showing the good that came from their meeting. Takashi asks Naruto if he wants to be his friend. This embarrasses Naruto as he had never shaken someone's hand before. Happily, Naruto agrees and he appears to have made his first real friend. Takashi tells Naruto he can sleep in his bedroom as he watches over the painting. While Naruto sleeps, a mysterious man enters the apartment and shoots Takashi in the head. The man then places the murder weapon into Naruto's bag. When Naruto wakes the next morning, Sergeant Matsushima is there with Karuta. Matsushima accuses Naruto of murdering Takashi. Karuta himself angrily yells at Naruto, asking him if he murdered Takashi and stole the painting. Naruto denies this, and Karuta remembers when Naruto told him that no one ever trusts him. Feeling pity for the young boy, Karuta tells Matsushima to take him in his place, allowing Naruto to find the real killer, which I thought was honorable, which I thought was nice, and you keep a lot of that emotion that it has for Naruto, but it's like a different spin on it. So Naruto is released, and he begins to travel around the city asking people about the painting. After having no success, Naruto stops in a park to ponder, thinking maybe it would be better to run away. He then overhears some young men describing one of their group named Hiroshi, who is absent. They call him an outsider who only hangs around with them to look cool. Naruto then thinks back to how he is similar. One of the young men denies this though, saying Hiroshi has always been a good friend who helps them out. He then tells the group to stop talking about him in that fashion, or he won't forgive them. Hiroshi then arrives and brings his friend some cool drinks. After seeing the compassion displayed for their friend, Naruto cries, thinking of his own life. Naruto then runs up to Hiroshi and yells he is jealous of him, and then runs off, leaving Hiroshi very confused. Which was a very random thing for Naruto to do without any context. Like, I probably would have been like, they were talking about you, they were saying you're not a good friend, they were bashing you, and I just wanted to personally let you know. But I would probably say that to him one-on-one, not in front of everybody else. Seeing that Kuroda believes in him, Naruto's faith is renewed, so he begins to search again. He travels to the apartment of the officer who was on duty at the time the murder happened. Naruto enters the apartment and asks the man if he saw anyone suspicious that night. Naruto then says maybe the officer himself took the painting. He tells Naruto this is foolish, but then Naruto asks why he smells so strongly of the painting. Naruto states he has a keen sense of smell and he noticed its foul odor when he first saw the painting. We see the officer reach for a knife and then cut to Matsushima's apartment. Now, of course, we know he has a strong sense of smell because he's a fox. He's like a literal fox. So he's like basically cosplaying as Naruto right now, which is kind of like interesting how it's intertwined. The officer is there telling the sergeant he murdered Naruto when he came asking questions. As Matsushima turns, the reader sees symbol in the background hanging on his wall. He says that is perfect. The public will then think Naruto took the painting and went into hiding. We then see Tails whip out from behind the officer. It is Naruto in disguise. After ending the illusion, a panicked Matsushima attempts to shoot Naruto with the gun, but Naruto states he will get revenge for the murder. Naruto uses his fox technique to return to his natural nine-tail forms. Using his tails, he captures Matsushima and the police arrive to arrest him. Matsushima denies he is guilty, but the police tell him to give it up. The other officer admitted to the crime. And this was one of the most iconic parts of reading the manga, is when he turns into the fox literally, and you see he's like this little fox. Kuroda then approaches Naruto and thanks him for helping him. He tells Naruto he helped him gain the ability to believe in people again, which I thought was really sweet. Naruto himself also thanks the artist for believing in him. Naruto then asks Kuroda to shake his hand, but the artist thinks it is creepy. He caves in anyway, and the two men become friends. He tells Naruto he would travel to the village with him, but he is busy. Naruto says that is okay. He would try to make more friends in the city. Kuroda then tells Naruto he will buy him a round of drinks for the road. Naruto says if he is buying, he would rather have ramen instead. Of course, we know Naruto loves his ramen. Naruto then thinks that maybe the chief was right. Friends aren't so bad after all. So we see the common thread, because as we know, Naruto, his friendships are very important to him. His friends are family. He put his life on the line for a friend, which I think is so honorable, very commendable of him. And that's his essence. But in this pilot, he's learning the importance of friendship, and you can see they're like building on that, and now he's eager to go out and seek more friends, which I think is pretty interesting. The chief looks like Kagero Uchmaskusi. I never can pronounce his name properly, but you know what I mean. The Sage of the Six Paths. He literally looks like a blend. The chief looks like a blend of him and also the third Hokage, which I thought was pretty interesting as well. How a lot of the drawing was done and how it maybe was transformed over, and they probably was like, oh, let's steal this, because he looks just like the Sage of Six Paths. Like literally, they both like a blend of them. That's how the chief looks, which I thought was pretty interesting and something funny to mention. And also too, the Naruto within this pilot still struggled, still had issues when it came to interacting with humans or to forming bonds, but in a different context, in a different light, because he was a fox and the chief was putting him out there so that he wouldn't turn into his father. So it's just interesting. So I just wanted to know you all's thoughts on this. I found this to be pretty interesting. I am a Naruto maniac. I'm just playing, but I am a crazy like Naruto fan. I've loved Naruto for a very long time. I found this finding to be interesting, so I just want to know your thoughts on it. Do you think this would have ended up being a good show? Clearly it wouldn't be the Naruto we know today, and it probably wouldn't be the same. However, would this be something you would like to see on your screen? How do you feel about the plot, so on and so forth? And it did seem like that this was clearly like the early drafting of the show, so as it progressed they tweaked it and did this and did that, and then of course turned it into the beautiful show that we have now. Please hit the like button. All the links will be within the description box. I found some thorough links when it comes to the description, so I was like, I don't even need to draft one up because that truly was very thorough. So I want to give that creator their credit, and also too I have the manga links because it was kind of difficult for me to find it for the longest. because I actually discovered this from seeing a quick clip on YouTube. So then took a minute for me to find it, but I found it and we conquered. You all are loved by the one who created the universe. You've been made for such a special purpose, and I thank you for sharing this moment with me. I thank you for clicking on this video, and I love that we get to share these opportunities because we have similar interests, and I love it. I love it. I think it's interesting how we all can connect and come together with various different interests that we have. So I just find this to be beautiful. And once again, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And I will see you all in the next video. Stay blessed, everyone.